In July 1518, a woman named Frau Trophea stepped into a narrow street in Strasbourg and began to dance. She had not planned to. She could not stop. By the end of the first week, 34 people were dancing alongside her. By the end of the month, 400. Some danced until their feet bled. Some died. No music was playing. The city authorities made things worse. Believing the dancing would burn itself out, they hired musicians and cleared space in the guild hall. They assumed movement would exhaust the affliction. Instead, the dancing spread. Within days of the guild hall opening, the number of dancers had doubled. This is documented, not folklore. Contemporary accounts survive from physicians, city council records, and local chronicles. The dancing plague of 1518 is one of the best documented cases of mass psychogenic illness in recorded history. The question it leaves open is not whether it happened, it's how. John Waller, at Michigan State, spent years reconstructing the event from primary sources. The dancers were not faking. They showed genuine physical signs of exhaustion, blistered feet, elevated heart rates, physical collapse. The dancing was involuntary. The people affected could not stop even when they wanted to. Waller's explanation centers on context. 1518, Strasbourg was in the grip of an extraordinary accumulation of disasters. Famine, running for 2 years. Syphilis, spreading across Europe. Plague had killed significant portions of the local population within living memory. Smallpox, leprosy, and St. Anthony's fire, caused by fungal contamination of grain, were endemic. One of the highest concentrations of simultaneous crises in the region's recorded history. The population was under sustained psychological stress that most modern contexts cannot approximate. And they existed inside a specific religious framework that made the body capable of behaviors modern medicine would classify as neurological. Saint. Vitus was a Catholic saint, believed to curse people with compulsive dancing as punishment for sin. The belief was mainstream, specific, and culturally embedded. The population of Strasbourg knew exactly what dancing plague was supposed to look like because their culture had a detailed template for it. This is the mechanism, Waller argues, produced the outbreak. Mass psychogenic illness does not require deception or conscious choice. It operates through psychogenic motor disorder, the body generating genuine involuntary physical symptoms in response to extreme stress, shaped by culturally available frameworks for what those symptoms should look like. The brain produces the behavior. The person cannot stop it any more than they could stop a seizure. The spread followed social contagion. People who saw others dancing, already under extreme stress, sharing the same cultural framework, began dancing themselves. The city's decision to provide musicians amplified the contagion by legitimizing it. The authorities' response signaled this was a real, recognized phenomenon, making it easier for unconscious mechanisms to activate in new individuals. The dancing stopped in September 1518 when the remaining dancers were taken to a shrine of Saint Vitus and given red shoes as a religious ritual. The cure worked through the same cultural framework that had produced the illness. The context that created the template for symptoms also provided the template for recovery. This is not an isolated historical oddity. Mass psychogenic illness has been documented across multiple centuries and cultures. In 1962, a laughing epidemic in Tanzania spread through multiple schools and lasted 18 months. In 2011, 18 students at a high school in Leroy, New York, developed involuntary tics that spread through the student body over weeks. In both cases, the symptoms were genuine. The neurological events were real. What produces them is a combination of psychological stress, social transmission, and a culturally available framework. Change any one of those 3 factors, and the outbreak either doesn't start or doesn't spread. The woman who started dancing in Strasbourg was not mentally ill. She was a person under intolerable stress in a culture that provided a specific involuntary behavior as the template for that stress. Her body used it. 400 people followed her. Some died. And the mechanism that produced it has never gone away. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.